Hello. Hi, everybody. 'Tis I, Duchess. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dutchess. This is my channel, Dutchess Divinity, and we do lots of stuff here, but today we're going to do tarot reading and a Reiki sound bath healing with Aphrodite, and I just think it's going to be really fun. So let me go ahead and turn off the chat. I see people are starting to come in. Thanks for the likes. Remember to like and share. Okay. All right. So let me put on my lip gloss, my fave lip gloss. Thanks for the likes, guys. It really helps the algorithm. Yay, thanks. People are starting to come in. This is going to be fun. I don't have a whole spiel for the beginning like I did these past couple days. We're just going to get like right into it. But first, actually, we are going to be cleaning my Aphrodite statue because I just feel like she's happier when she's clean. And she does have a little bit of like dirt and glitter and stuff on her. So this is my statue that I have. Well, okay. Doing my best here. So this is Aphrodite. These are the like crystals and stuff that I keep on her. Yeah, so I'm gonna take those off. We're gonna clean the statue and then we'll get into the reading and sound healing, and we'll use the crystals when we do the Reiki. Hello to the people coming in. Please remember to like the video because then it will get sent out into the algorithm for other people to get notified. All right, we're gonna get some rose water. First, I'm gonna put some on me. Feels so nice. Okay, and put on this cotton ball and clean her up. This is one of my favorite statues. It's like really high quality. The beautiful hair. Gotta cover that butt. Gotta cover the butt because YouTube ain't gonna like that. So beautiful. And the little babies at her feet, the little cherubs. So cute. All right. There's a little dirt still on her face. There we go. You're looking great, Aphrodite. Okay. I'm going to spray her with some rose water. Wait, before I do, look how cute this little baby's belly is. He just got this little belly, so cute. Okay. Aphrodite, please bless us with a reading and healing. Hello to the people coming in. Please remember to be respectful because I've got really good moderators, so yeah. Okay, she's ready. Aphrodite. All right. Whew. Say my little prayer. Hi to the people coming in. Remember to like it so other people get notified. Benevolent guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, star family, higher self, Yeshua, Baal, Ra, Yemaya, Kronika, and God Source. I humbly come to you today on behalf of myself, and I just ask please that I be a messenger for the divine, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet today, and I call upon the Aphrodite, Venus, and just ask please that you bless us with whatever messages need to come through, and whatever healing needs to come through. I pray all of this with the purest of hearts and the best of intentions. Amon Ra, Ashe Namaste, with the power of 3, Samote Be, always works, always a blessing. I also brought this. This is my, I made this. It's a resin female figure, but it's got like the herbs for beauty potion in it, and it's Orgonite, so I thought we could use this for the healing as well. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see, what does Aphrodite have for us? Spirit, Aphrodite. What messages do you have for us, Aphrodite? What messages do you have for us, Aphrodite? I just heard your frequency is precious. Precious, like a precious metal or a precious stone. In order to have access to precious metals or precious stones, or even a goddess, right, you must come with the correct offerings. So if you want precious metals or precious stones, then you need to have the money to buy those precious metals or precious stones. If you want to connect with a goddess, then you need to have the right frequency, and you cannot be either in like a trickster energy or like a shady energy where you're trying to get something for nothing, or you're trying to, I just heard beg, borrow, and steal, just things that are sus, right? So if you come to a goddess with that energy, whether they are a living goddess, like a woman, a living woman, or like an actual goddess like Venus, Aphrodite, they're not going to pay you any mind. They're not going to give you like any attention because you're not coming in the right frequency. So the first message that we have here before I even start to read the cards is that you need to be very selective about who you're allowing in your frequency. Consider yourself a goddess or a god if you're a man, or consider yourself a precious metal or a precious gem, right? You're not going to walk into a jewelry store and want to buy gold and then try to beg, borrow, and steal to get the gold for a price that is not applicable to what that gold is worth, right? So why would you allow people to come into your life and try to trick you and take from you and beg, borrow, and steal and give you something that is not applicable to what it is that you are worth? And I'm feeling this like a really strong grounding in like the divine feminine taking her power back, because not only has society found ways to completely distort divine feminine into some kind of toxic feminine frequency, but society as a whole, whether you believe it or not, we're living in a patriarchy, and it's really not conducive to men or women, because on the Patreon, we even had one of the husbands of the girls on the, or boyfriends, I can't remember, but if they're married or not, but we had him, he came on and he was like, dude, like, that mentality isn't good for anybody. Like, that kind of a work schedule isn't good for me as a man. It isn't good, like, the environment isn't good for me as a man either. Like, it's just, like, these systems are so outdated, and they don't just hurt, like, the patriarchy or these systems that are serving the 1% and the 1% only, and then everything under the rich, wealthy 1% is suffering in one way or another. Like, they don't serve anyone. So I feel that, because remember how I've talked many times about how the divine feminine leads, and then the masculine holds the grounding and holds the stability, and is able to be that rock and that support and that foundation. For so long, I feel that there's been this distortion with divine masculine and divine feminine, where the divine masculine has been in this really annoying empress energy where they're just sitting and, you know, expecting. And then women have been in this frequency where they feel like they need to compete or chase. And that's exactly the fucking opposite. It is exactly the opposite of the frequency that we're supposed to be in. The woman is supposed to be the one that's pursued. And if you don't like that, fine. Then this isn't the reading for you. But that is just spiritually speaking, and also like biologically and like anatomy speaking. That's how it's supposed to be. And so it's annoying. Like, women are already, and I can only speak to being a woman. I'll never know what it's like to be a man, because I'm not a man, and I don't pretend to know what that's like. I can only speak to being a woman, because that's what I am. A biological woman, because there's a difference between biological women, trans women, whatever. There's a difference. So I can only speak to being raised as a woman, being a biological woman in today's society, and there's so much that's just expected of us that's just not appropriate at this point. And I watched this great video, I'll link it in my community page, or maybe I'll just link it under this live, but it was talking about The Shining and how everybody says that like Jack is the caretaker when in reality Wendy's the caretaker. And he was speaking about like women's basically silent suffering and like all the work that we do that just goes without appreciation because it's just expected of women in society. And it's at a point, I feel, where the divine feminine has had enough, and it's so out of whack with how things are supposed to be, like I said, biologically, with our anatomy and within spirituality, because another rule of the 7 Hermetic principles, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the rules that govern over this entire universe, everything has a gender. And then each of those genders has a role. Like, this is not new shit. Like, this is ancient shit. And so that's why people like me, who not only understand the 3D like biological aspects of it, and then also I went to, like, people don't realize I went to college for, like, I was doing communication and women and gender studies. So all this like weird new rhetoric that I don't appreciate and I don't support around, you know, gender isn't a thing and blah blah blah, all this like weird fucking shit. And like I said, if you don't like that, this just isn't the channel for you. You can go find it at a dime a dozen. There's a million people giving this. You want to talk about misinformation? There's a million people handing out that misinformation. Okay, you can go find one of their channels. But on this channel, we're in reality. So, yeah, it's just the divine feminine is sick and tired of being in this weird distortion that is making all these excuses for not only bad behavior on both sides, bad toxic feminine behavior, bad toxic masculine behavior. There's a lot of excuses and victim mentality that gets wrapped up in all of this, so people get to be less than because they're using, you know, this blanketing of becoming a victim, or this blanketing of just like weird random rhetoric that has kicked up in the last 3-4 years because everyone was bored in the panini, so they just started making up new rules to the universe. Newsflash! You can't just make up new rules to this universe. It's been this way since the beginning of time. So you can be living in your delusion and your new rules all that you want, but at the end of the day, it ain't real. And those of us who are in reality are going to continue to be in reality. And that's just how it is. So, yeah, I feel, and you know, they say Venus Aphrodite can be petty. She can be rude because she knows her worth, and it sounds like my girl here is a little fed up with the divine feminine constantly being downtrodden. And like I said, I cannot speak to what men go through because I'm not a man, and I don't fucking know. But I do know in my experience that there's been a lot of, like, in my belief, I just feel like society is set up in a way that just like the systems hate women, right? And you know what? They hate men too, like I was saying in the beginning. But through my eyes, there's so much that just happens to keep women out of their divine feminine energy, to keep them stuck, to keep them struggling. And, you know, we can say this about everyone because, like I was saying, the 1% just wants everybody below them to continue to be a slave race. So, because that's how they benefit, right? That's how the wealthy stay wealthy, when we stay down. So I just feel like this is like I just heard the divine feminine's battle call. And then I just saw Freya, because she is the goddess of love and war. And for so long, we've been shoved into this box or into this corner. Like, even like I was talking about this on my live yesterday, and I was talking about this with my friend about how, like, you know, because I was like pole dancing for fun, for a hobby, suddenly everybody thinks I'm a whore and this and that, when in reality, I've been celibate by choice because I haven't found anybody that I feel is worthy of literally letting into my body. Like, but that is a whole nother conversation. You remember the hookup culture live that I did that got removed and thrown away because I was dropping too many facts and YouTube didn't like all of the facts that I was dropping about how, you know, that kind of culture is actually really dangerous, not empowering, and, you know, not actually supportive of men or women or healthy sexual relationships. So it's like people will just make all these assumptions about you as a woman. And, you know, I'm sure they do it to men too. I feel like I have to keep saying that because there's always going to be someone in the comments like, actually, I'm sure they're in here right now and the moderators are having to like take care of them. But anyway, it's like, when I was talking to my friend about this, it's like crazy because with men, right, it's cool for them to hook up with as many women as possible. But then, societally speaking, and pretty much incels feel that they want a woman who's good in bed, but also a virgin. Make it make sense. And also, too, if a woman's sleeping with a lot of men, then it's like, oh, well, you have all these names for her, right? Whore, whatever, calling her all these names, making all these assumptions about her. But I'm sorry, men. Like, if there weren't women for you to sleep with, then you wouldn't be able to, like, get your numbers up and be, like, the cool guy who's sleeping with all these girls. Like, you'd be just sleeping with other men. So, make it make sense. It doesn't fucking make sense. And then we were talking about, too, how, like, we were wearing shorts. Like, we were just wearing, like, jean shorts at a fair. And then these guys, like, they were kids. They were teenagers, probably early college. They were calling us hoes. And she's like, dude, we can't even wear shorts without people being like, oh, that's a hoe. But I was like, yeah, but then men get to wear their fucking shorts all they want. And then they also get to wear mandals with their fucking talon toenails that they don't fucking take care of out. And nobody calls them talon toes. A talon-toed whore for wearing mandals and shorts. Like, it's just a double standard. But anyway, I just feel like it's that frequency of the divine feminine being fed up, being in that frequency of love and war, and saying, you know what, I'm not scraping by anymore. I'm not chasing you. I'm the empress. You're not. You're supposed to be the emperor, which is fine. Like, get in your emperor energy. And of course, there's times when it's like, you know, the emperor does need to sit on his throne. But you cannot be in my empress energy when I'm supposed to be the feminine, expecting me to do all the chasing, expecting me to, like, plan the date. Like, miss me with that. That's why I barely fucking date, because so many of these men, they just want to sit around and do nothing and expect you to do everything. And it's like, I always think about, like, if I was alive in the 60s, like, or the 50s or whatever, like, people, like, the men would be pursuing me, and we'd be like, you know, having a milkshake at, like, the local ice cream bar, and everything would be so simple, and, like, you'd just be happy to be sharing a milkshake with 2 straws with a pretty girl. And so it's like, it's just fallen so far from that. And, you know, don't even get me started on, like, OnlyFans and everything like that, and the corn issue, and I don't mean cornica. You know what kind of corn I mean. Like, it's just, like, society has become so degenerate, in my opinion, and like I said, these are my opinions. You know, you can disagree with me, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it's healthy. The whole Lily Phillips thing really freaking messed me up. And the Bonnie Blue stuff, like, this is disgusting. And this is what I was talking about with, like, toxic feminine energy. And I'm not, like I'm saying, I'm not just blaming men. Like, women need to be blamed for this bad behavior and this degeneracy as well. Women like that. But the thing about it is, with these men and women, I blame their parents, right? And if it wasn't their parents, if they had a good household, then I blame them not taking responsibility in their adult life to be good people. Because a good person, right? A good person doesn't say, send me your fresh 18-year-olds that just went away to college so I can sleep with 1,000 men in 24 hours. And by the way, those 1,000 men are barely legal, and I'm lying about my age. She says she's 24. She's actually 27. Rachel Oates did a whole deep dive and found her actual age. Like, that's disgusting. You're a predator. And that's something else that we need to normalize. We need to normalize talking about women predators too. Because everyone was saying, well, reverse it. What if that was like a 27-year-old dude doing this with barely legal women, going to the college campuses and harvesting these barely legal kids? They're kids. Like, I will never understand a 60-year-old man or woman that wants to date an 18-year-old. Like, first of all, that could be your kid. You're disgusting. Second of all, like I said, that's going to be like the worst sex of your life. Like how I was saying, you can't expect a woman to be good in bed and a virgin, and like you can't have both, right? Because that's part of the process, is like getting comfortable and being with someone that you trust and learning what you like and learning, and that's another thing. It's like sex is so taboo in our society, and it's just so extreme. It's either you're all the way on like the Christian end of things, or you're on the freaking Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips end of things, right? And by the way, why did everybody, I guess I am ranting in the beginning of this live, why did everybody forget about how bad STDs are? Hello. Like Lily Phillips is like, well, we're prioritizing the people who have STI checks. She probably just got the whole fucking state, like the whole fucking country of Europe full of fucking STDs. Because how are you gonna have sex with these people without protection and not even have every single one of them have a STI check? That's disgusting. Miss me with that. This is why I do not participate in hookup culture, because of shit like that. And also the men are disgusting. You are fucking disgusting if you're gonna spend $800 of your hard-earned money to get 5 minutes inside of this woman who's taken 78 other dudes before you and gotten their cum all in her mouth and in her eyes and in her hair. And remember when the cameraman walked in that room and he literally gagged, it smelled so bad? Like, you're all disgusting. The men are disgusting, the women are disgusting. And with the Bonnie Blue shit, she's like, yeah, I like to, hook up with a dad who has a wife and then hook up with his son. You're disgusting. And you're a piece of shit. And you are, like, a perfect example of the degeneracy in this world. And you're a predator. Because, like I said, you're lying about your age, bitch. You don't look 24, not for one frickin' second. Anyone with fucking half a brain cell could look at your face and know that you ain't no 24-year-old. And then we got the proof that that bitch is 27. And yes, I am being mean, because I don't care about the feelings of predators. I would say the same shit to some 27-year-old guy that was doing this to barely legal girls, right? So, miss me with that. It's disgusting. Send me your sons, send me your husbands, send me your freshly 18-year-old teenage kids. Disgusting, right? So that's my message. Like I said, neither men nor women are innocent in this. It's toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, and predatory Lolita behavior. I guess I don't know if the opposite is Lolito. I don't fucking know. But all I know is the word, because, typically what we've been sold by society is like Lolita culture, right? Where it's like the predatory older man that's going after the younger woman. But it's like now we're seeing it on both sides. And you know what, too? Same with the gay community, right? This isn't a sexuality thing, because you can have predatory older men and barely legal guys too, barely legal boys, I will say, okay? And same, you can have predatory fucking cougar women and young women, whatever. It's over all sexualities. I'm over it. I'm disgusted by it. The PEDO culture of right now is just like, it's killing me. I can't stand it. I can't freaking stand it. The trafficking, it's like I've been awake to this crap since 2018, and I am so tired of people making excuses for this disgusting behavior. Whether it's the governments that are participating in the human trafficking and the PEDO shit, right? Or it's literally our own peers. But I would not consider Lily Phillips or Bonnie Blue a peer. I consider them a parasite and a skid mark on society, because you fucking disgust me as you spread around all these STDs. Some of them are for life. Some of them kill you. Why aren't we teaching that anymore? Why are we pushing abortion instead of pushing safe sex? And the other thing is too, you can be pro-choice but still be anti-abortion, which is how I feel. I feel like I don't want someone telling me what to do with my body, so I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. But at the same time, I don't think abortion should be your birth control, or you should be getting an abortion every fucking Tuesday. I just don't. I think you should be smarter. And you know what? I think you should use protection, because not only is it going to protect you, and Don't even get me started on all these people who are bringing children into the world who have no right to be parents, and then the children are neglected or abused in the process because they're having kids that they didn't expect to have because nobody taught them about safe sex, or somebody did teach them about safe sex and they just didn't care, so then they just went and knocked up any Tom, Dick, or Harry, any freak that wasn't meant to be a parent, and now this poor kid is just involved in all of this. Like, why did that also become a thing where people are just having kids left and right without thinking about how it affects the children? Like, that shit disgusts me, right? And then on top of it, that's how all the STDs are getting freaking spread. My mom works at a college campus. She said that the STD rate is higher than it's been. She's worked there since before I was even in college. So she's worked there for probably at least 15 years now, 20 years now. Like, she was working there well when I was in high school. So that's a long ass time. She said STDs are the worst they've ever been. Ever. She said that they just are handing out pamphlets on STDs on every freaking corner of the sidewalks because it's so bad right now with the infirmary, because they're just spreading like nothing. And it's because of these fucking Lily Phillips, whose fucking mom does her books. Her mom is her pimp. And her dad's like, yeah, it's cool that, like, my friend, like, she literally said her dad's friends subscribed to her OnlyFans. Her dad's friends were probably lined up to go fuck her when she did the 100 men in one day too, right? Like I said, I blame your fucking parents. You're disgusting. You're fucking disgusting. That's not what a parent should want for their kids. And also, why the fuck don't you care about her enough to teach her about STDs? Your mom is your manager, aka your pimp, and you're prioritizing STI checks? Dude. Also, you're just the most selfish family on the planet. Like, for real. You're so fucking selfish. Because not only are you, probably spreading STDs and shit, but now those 800 guys or however many guys are going to go out and they're going to fuck a bunch of other people raw because they're stupid and they don't fucking care about other people's health. And now that's how STDs get freaking spread. Herpes is for life, by the way. It's for life. Gonorrhea can kill you. Like, let's be for real. And so, yeah, so my mom said they're the worst they've ever been on the college campus, and I blame the school systems because they've been too busy teaching everybody about frickin' pronouns and all this other stupid shit instead of teaching them actual sex ed. And by the way, there was sex education over in California that was teaching kids like these books were in kids' schools, right? Like literally like middle school and shit. It was teaching kids how to safely eat shit. I'd rather you tell me how to not get an STD than how to safely eat shit. And then they'll go around and they'll blame the anti-Vs for starting polio again when you know what starts polio? Eating shit. Eating shit. Like, that's how polio got started, because there was rats and people were shitting in the streets, and so it was like they were shit in the water. So then it's like you get all these diseases, right? So maybe instead of doing, and you can go look this up, there are public record videos of parents bringing these disgusting books. They also teach about fisting and other shit that's like not something that middle schoolers should learn. Do you know how horrified and disturbed I would be as a middle schooler reading something like that in my school library? Do you know how much that would F me up? I don't know if I would have ever been okay at that age if I had illustrations showing me that and telling me this is what sex is. Dude, when I learned what it was, I was 10 in 5th grade, and my friend told me I wasn't okay for like a week because I wasn't ready to hear that information. Because let kids be kids. Let kids be kids. And then don't even get me started on MAPS. Don't even, aka PEDOs, minor attractive person. No, fuck you. We will never let you in the LGBTQ community. You will always be a predator. You will always be sick in the head. You will always be a PEDO. It ain't happening. Keep it pushing. It ain't happening. You're not going to make this a sexuality because it's not. It's an illness and it's a crime. So instead of teaching people how to eat shit, it would be nice if our government would go back to their regularly scheduled sex education. But that's not what they want. They want, Fig Barma wants patience for life, right? Because if you do contract an STD that lasts with you for life, well, guess what? Now you need the medicine for life. Oh, darn. And then Big Pharma's like, oops. Oh, oopsie. Now you need medicine for life. Oops. By the way, go eat shit and get fisted. That'll be good for you. That's totally not traumatizing or fucking disgusting or weird or dangerous. Yeah. So that was my rant. I've been thinking about that since I'm going to be honest, the Lily Phillips thing really messed me up. It really messed me up. Like, that happened. And then the whole Bonnie Blue having to take it to the next level. Like, that woman, like I said, she's a demon. Like, that's a fucking demon cosplaying in a filler-filled face, right? That is a 27-year-old demon cosplaying as a 24-year-old with a fucking filler-filled face. And like I said, I don't care if I'm being mean to a predator, because your feelings don't fucking matter to me when you're a predator. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you're being predatory towards kids, towards barely legal kids. And you know what? If she's cool with sleeping with people's husbands, sleeping with the father, sleeping with the son after, and sleeping with barely legal 18-year-olds, what makes you think she wouldn't be cool sleeping with, like, a 16-year-old who's, like, just scraping by the age of consent? I don't know. This shit really fires me up because it's disgusting. And we as a society should not accept this as appropriate, because, you know, if you're like me and you want kids or you have kids, is this really the world you want them growing up in? It ain't for me. Because if it's this bad now, what's it gonna be like when my kids grow up? That's why you gotta nip this shit now before it just keeps spiraling and getting worse and worse. So that's my rant, but inspired by Venus Aphrodite, I guess, because I guess she's fed up with it too. And, you know, that was definitely a lot of my own bias. Like, that was definitely me talking. Like, yes, I was channeling, and that's a lot of my opinion, but I do feel that her bringing up the whole distortion with masculine and feminine and toxic feminine, toxic masculine, and how that's pushed in our society today definitely inspired me to share those thoughts. So take a drink, everybody. Stay hydrated. Okay, now let's read the cards. 20 minutes later, let's read the cards that I pulled. All right, I really needed to get that off my chest. I've been thinking about that for weeks. So thanks for listening. And thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes, you guys. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't liked the video, but you like what I'm saying, make sure to like it so that more people can hear what I'm yelling about. Okay, so we got the the Fool. Also a lot of throat chakra opening. I just felt that very strongly, like the throat has been closed, especially with the divine feminine, and feeling like, you know, they're having to pick up all the slack and everything that I was saying about, like, the silent struggle of women and what is expected of women. So a lot of throat chakra opening. We'll work on that when we do the Reiki. But we have the Fool, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. So we've got the Fool card here, and it has the snake, the year of the snake. We just stepped into the Lunar New Year, the year of the snake, and a lot of people are talking about how this year is a 9-year, so it's about completing cycles. When we think about snakes, they shed their skin, right? So we are what Venus Aphrodite is saying here is that we are stepping into this year where we are ending current cycles, particularly toxic cycles, like all the ones I just yelled about, and we are shedding our skin and we're stepping into something new. And I just heard moving on. So like how I was saying, we've been stuck in this perpetual state of toxic masculinity and toxic femininity, and it's like people are finally waking up and moving on. And you know what, it's not just that either. Like, there's a lot of delusions and illusions that people have been a part of either for their entire life or for the last couple years or whatever. So like how people are finally starting to like not worship celebrities. And remember, I predicted that by August of 2024 people were going to start turning on celebrities, and that's exactly when a lot more of the Diddy stuff started coming out, and people really started to turn on celebrities because they were realizing, like I was saying, that they're a bunch of fucking degenerates. So, and that they're pushing this degenerate narrative within our society that is not conducive to a healthy, thriving, like, state of humanity. It's just not. So, and you know what, too, like, a lot of people are mad at Selena Gomez right now because instead of, you know, using her wealth to actually help the issues that she is pretending to care about, she set up her phone, just like I set up my phone today, hit the record button, and recorded her Botox frozen face crying, making no sense, saying, oh, I wish I could help. Bitch, you have like 5 multi-mansions and you're a billionaire. You're one of the richest people on the planet. There are ways you can help other than with your crocodile tears. Because that was such an egoic move to be like, oh, I really like, maybe she is sad, you know? Maybe she is. I don't know. But she was doing that to get people to say, oh, you're so kind. You're so empathetic. Thank you so much for bringing awareness. It's not enough at this point. When we're barely scraping by trying to pay our rent and our gas and our food and all this just necessities to live, it ain't enough when you're a billionaire with multiple homes to just cry about something that you don't like, right? And it's like when all those fires happened in Hawaii and Oprah gave like, when people broke down Oprah's wealth and how much she actually donated to the Hawaii fires, it was like the equivalent of a regular person like donating like $20 of their annual salary. So even though it seemed like a lot because she donated like $1 million or something, it was the equivalent of her, if she was a regular person, donating $20 of her salary. So like, I just think people are fed up. And so that's what this card is talking about. Like, literally, our back is turned. You can try to influence us all you want. You can try to use your crocodile tears all you want to manipulate us. You know, you can try to pin us against each other, whether it's red versus blue, men versus women, whatever. Like, there are lots of ways that they're trying to pin us against each other. You can try and do that all you want, but here we are. The year of the snake is guiding us. It is by our feet. And you know what? In the past, that snake would bite us in the ankles and we wouldn't be able to proceed forward. But now it's like, instead of avoiding our shadow self or not paying attention to these really messed up things that are happening in society, people are finally waking up and they're moving on and saying enough is enough. You know, I don't want to like fight my neighbor. I don't want to accept this terrible behavior. I don't appreciate this degeneracy in my society. I don't appreciate, you know, the lack of humanity. I don't appreciate the PEDO shit. I don't appreciate the 1% thinking that they're better than the rest of us, while they're the only reason they have what they have is because we're the slave race working below them. This is us moving on into a new beginning, onto a brighter horizon, right? I just heard The Climb by Miley Cyrus because I was noticing the mountains in the background. And so it's like, not only are we headed to like the next chapter of not just our own personal lives, but the next chapter of humanity and what we accept as a society. So it's like, not only are we moving on to that, but it's the journey that gets us there as well, right? It's the climb. Okay. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. And so it's like we've been accepting crumbs, right? Because that's what the 6 of Pentacles is. It's someone love crumbing you. It's somebody, you know, shorting you on what it is that they owe you for money. It's the lack mentality. It's not giving you what you deserve. It's, you know, saying that they're going to pay you for something and then they don't. That kind of energy. It's lack, right? And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's like society as a whole, and particularly the divine feminine, is saying, I'm not putting up with that anymore. I'm not putting up with being the slaves to the 1%, being a slave to the system, being a slave to the patriarchy, being a slave to whatever the hell, because they find a way to take advantage of us in every frickin' way that they can. Especially frickin' marginalized groups or people who have always had to fucking claw their way to the top. Like, they really try to fucking tear you down because you have that fighter's spirit that is what was able to get you out of whatever fucking hole you were stuck in the first place. So they're always trying to crush that fighter's spirit, right? So it's like everyone said, I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough of your crumbs. I deserve better than this. I want the whole damn cake here with the fucking Ace of Pentacles. I want my birthright. I want what I deserve, I just heard. And, you know, we've been learning and talking a lot about monitoring spirits and destiny swapping. And it's like, I've seen multiple people come out and talk about how they're a small creator and then they have some kind of celebrity or bigger creator that's stealing their ideas or stealing their fashion, or even like dude, like there was this one girl who was giving all these examples of how Kendall Jenner was like literally copying everything that she did, and the examples she was giving were like very disturbing. Like this girl, Kendall literally went out and bought the exact book that this girl was reading and like had almost the exact same bikini on. I imagine it's a way more expensive version, but it's like she like dyed her hair the same right after this girl did it. Like this is common. And they're siphoning off of us. They are energy vampires that have, and you know what? When people say they sold their souls, like to me, it's like they sold their individuality and they have handlers, right? So either they have handlers that they're called managers or whatever, and then it's like there's a certain image that they need to create and that their handler is creating through them. That music video, Hey Look My Made It, that by Panic at the Disco, that's like the perfect example of like, you know, the casting couch kind of frequency, right? The fucking Weinstein kind of shit, right? And so it's like when you sell your soul in that way, basically by doing things that are outside of what it is that like you're not following your heart anymore, I feel like you get cut off from inspiration, because not only are you not following your heart and you've sold yourself to like an agency or a handler or whoever, but now you're not like getting those creative hits and downloads because you've like shut yourself off from God. So then you have to copy, right? You don't have any original ideas. You just, or either that, or you never had any of that in the beginning. So I feel like the other thing too is like there's a lot of celebrities that we see today, like Ice Spice. I don't care if I piss people off. Charlie XCX. I saw her perform on SNL. It was horrible. Horrible. She sounded horrible. She looked horrible. I know people really like her. I don't really care because I don't like celebrities. Like, I miss when celebrities were actually talented. I miss when, you know, like, let's just give Pink for an example. And I'm sure she's a piece of shit, too, because I don't think you can be a famous celebrity with a lot of money without doing absolutely fucking terrible things. But let's use Pink for an example. She's got an incredible set of fucking pipes, and that bitch would do fucking aerial acrobatics. She'd be flying over the fucking audience. And then Charlie XCX comes out with her fucking auto-tune in a Y2K outfit and just fucking twerks on a green screen. Like, I miss when celebrities were actually talented. But where was I going with that? What was I? Oh, the siphoning, right? They're siphoning off our energy because they're either, you know, like I said, so far gone that they're cut off from source, and now they have no creative abilities of their own or creative thoughts of their own, so they have to take it from others, or they had no talent to begin with, and the only reason they chose them to be a celebrity like Ice Spice is because they were easy to conform, or they were just so excited for the money that they took it, and then they're easy to control, right? When we think about the last frickin' Super Bowl, right? And by the way, I just started watching football. That shit's rigged. Like, it's so biased. It is so biased for the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs they're a good team, but dude, the refs usually are on their side. The dudes in New York that they call and then they look at the thing, it's like you can totally tell where the money is. And the Chiefs are with wherever the money is, and that's why it's like that shit's biased as fuck. That like, it's rigged. Like, and I've only watched a few like games with my dad, and it's like every time the Chiefs are on, they're getting special fucking treatment. because they're making them a lot of money. So they're getting special. But Spirit's saying it's no different than when I was on my college campus. I went to UConn, and the RAPE culture was insane there because we have really good basketball teams. And when I went there over 10 years ago, a lot of the freaking basketball players were cheating on their tests because they were expected to perform athletically, so then they didn't do any fucking studying. I had a basketball player literally asked to sit next to me in one of my exams so that he could copy off of me. And he thought I was going to be like, oh, yeah, like fangirling, like, yay, yes, please sit next to me. I'd be honored for you to copy off my paper. Fuck no. Bitch, I studied all night. I'm not going to have you lurking your little eyes over my paper and then I get in trouble because you're protected because you're a fucking basketball player and I'm just the girl that's like taking her fucking test. Miss me with that shit. Hell no, you're not fucking cheating off my paper. A lot of the athletes there, they would cheat. I can't speak to the women. I only had really interactions with the male basketball players, but a lot of them were pieces of shit. And obviously not going to generalize because not all of them were, but a lot of them would cheat on the tests. And the RAPE culture, like I said, was insane because they would do this and then it's like, oh, well, I'm an athlete. Or they drug girls and it'd be like, oh, well, I'm an athlete. And then they get away with it because they're a good basketball player. This is nothing new. Do you remember when that video came out of I forget what kind of sport he played, but it was some athlete and his wife in a elevator, and this dude just knocked his wife out like cold in the elevator. He was like 2 feet taller than her, and he just like punches her right in the face and then drags her out of the elevator because she was knocked out cold. And then it's like, it's okay because he's really good at the sport he plays. Like, dude, Why did I bring up football? Oh, because it's bias and it's where the money is, right? So like I said, they're a good team, but at the same time, isn't it pretty easy to be a good team when the ref is always in your favor and the guys back in New York are always in your favor who are calling plays? Like, doesn't that make it easier to be a good team? And so last year I felt like the Super Bowl was like this big freaking publicity stunt where they got the Chiefs there and then they've got Taylor Swift up in the freaking Raptors. I hate that woman. I hate her. Like I said, I don't care if you don't like me anymore. I fucking hate her. Sorry if you're a Swiftie. Let's agree to disagree. She disgusts me. I think she's a bully. I think that she's a brat. I think she's a bad dancer, okay singer, and a great songwriter. I will give her that. I think she's an amazing songwriter, terrible dancer, okay singer. And I don't like her. Not even a little bit. But remember, she had her little minion, Ice Spice, and it was very clear that Ice Spice had no talent, no personality, would give nothing when she'd perform. Looked high as hell, honestly, if I'm being so for real. She looks high every time I see that girl. Didn't she just steal someone's boyfriend too? Like, aren't we sick of this from the celebrities? Or like I was saying, Bonnie Blue or fucking Lily Phillips, like, send me your husbands. Like, no, bitch. No, we actually don't like you. Like, we used to shun people like you in society. I think we need to go back to shunning that kind of behavior. I think we need to go back to saying that that's not okay, right? Like with Ariana Grande stealing fucking SpongeBob with his snaggle teeth from his high school sweetheart after she just had a brand new baby. Like, aren't we grossed out by that behavior? Don't we not like that kind of behavior, right? Ice Spice just stole somebody else's boyfriend too and then made a song about it. That's straight out of the Taylor Swift playbook. Do something stupid in a relationship and then make a song about it to demonize the other person and then send your minions after them. So anyway, what I was saying about the Super Bowl, it was all one big freaking publicity stunt. I feel like, I don't know, are the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl this year? I feel like they are, but it's just another publicity stunt so they can pan over to Taylor Swift in all of her opulence. Like, aren't people offended by the opulence at this point? Like, when it's like I was saying, you're barely paying for your rent, your food, your gas, and then you just have these celebrities that are like, this is my, like, I don't know if anybody saw Alabama Barker's, like, Christmas haul, and I think I happened upon it, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, why are people not raging about this? Like, all the stuff she got for Christmas, if you took that money and you actually put it towards society or like helping people, like, you could do so much good in the world, but instead you just got a leather dress, right? You got like a $20,000 leather dress. But for a regular person, that's like a down payment on a house. Like, what? I don't know. They just disgust me. So, like, last year, and they say that the Super Bowl is the biggest human trafficking day of the year. And when we think about the events from previous times, right, where it was like when they rolled out COVID, they set the Amazon on fire. I have a whole live where I talked about that. Because I talked about all the events that brought us to the last LOCKDOWNS. But it was like they set the Amazon on fire. I give details all about that and whatever. I can't remember what live it is. And then they miraculously and suspiciously, Kobe's plane just went down with his daughter, the divine masculine, divine feminine sacrifice. Then right after that, we have the Super Bowl, which is the biggest human trafficking day of the year. And that was the year that Shakira performed, and Shakira always has human trafficking subliminals within her performances. Like, she did a performance with one of those crates that they knowingly traffic people in. Somebody got so mad at me because I called out, like, LDR for driving into, like, the frickin' middle of nowhere desert that was full of nothing but crates that they human traffic people in, that it's known that they human traffic people in these kind of crates. And if you did your research around human trafficking, you would know that. But instead, you'd rather shoot the messenger. And so she was just driving out there, and that's all the video was, which is they put this shit in plain sight for false consent, right? And so it's like someone freaked out on me and was like, you know, you're just seeing the world through this ugly lens. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm seeing the world through the lens of truth, right? Yeah. But anyway, Shakira will do performances with like the crates that they, like, that's not even a cute prop. Why is that your prop? That's an ugly ass prop. And then she was like, in that performance, she had like ropes around her wrists as if she was being like, you know, tied up. Like, it was all, like, if you know what to look for, it's very obvious. The symbolism, it's very mocking, it's very obvious. So, yeah, we've got the biggest human trafficking day of the year coming up. It's been rigged for the Chiefs so that they can then have Taylor Swift up in her little, like, cubicle thing, and they can keep panning to her and being like, oh, Taylor! Oh my God, Travis Kelce, couple goals. No, you disgust me. You both disgust me. I spit on you. Both of you. You both fucking disgust me. And like I was saying about Ice Spice, remember when she had, speaking of LDR, she had LDR and Ice Spice up in her little fucking cubicle, and Ice Spice was wearing a big ass upside down cross, and she kept going like this and flashing her upside down cross at the Super Bowl. The only reason Ice Spice is famous is because she's gross and willing to keep secrets, not because she's talented. And also, a lot of people speculate that that bitch has a scat fetish, because all she does is sing about like shitting and like all that disgusting stuff, which brings us full circle to what I was talking about before around the degeneracy that they're trying to push on our children rather than just teaching them about, you know, safe sex and normal sex. So, sorry I keep going on rants. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings every year around the Super Bowl because I know what's about to go down. Okay. Anyway, let's pull some more cards. Thanks for the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. I keep seeing the likes going up, and I'm like, hell yeah, these are my people. These are the people who get it. All right. On a lighter note, Venus, what message do you have for us on a lighter note, on an individual level for the Divine Feminine? Take a drink. I was like, this is just going to be a short live. It's already been an hour almost. All right. This shit needs to be said, though. And it's crazy because it's like the NPCs will attack you and they'll defend people they've never met in their life. So like they've never met these celebrities and they never will. And these celebrities do not care about them. They will never want to know them or be their friend. People will defend the government when we all know the government ain't your friend. They will defend Fig Barma when we all know. Switch those first two letters, Fig Barma. They ain't your friend. They're not, okay? And it's crazy to me how people will fucking fight tooth and nail to stay asleep and attack their peers who are trying to wake them up to the evils of the world. And instead of focusing on where the actual problems lie with the 1%, and with the trafficking and all of the degeneracy and issues that we actually have going on, instead they attack their peers and they yell at the people around them who are trying to enlighten them to these very disturbing things. And listen, I know that it's not something you want to hear. It's not something I wanted to learn either. Do you think I wanted to do all the research and see shit like that with my bare eyes? Like, or even all the people who are watching all the videos from Palestine and like spreading awareness because that shit is horrific, and they're watching all these videos and all these crimes against humanity. It's like, do you think these people want to behold that with their little eyes? No, but it's the truth. And the more we ignore the truth, the more they get away with these crimes against humanity. That's just how it is. And I remember, like, when everything first LOCKDOWNED, my parents would get so mad at me because I'd be like, this is a big, like, population control thing. This is a big, this is a mass psychosis. This is a human trafficking thing. And I would try to talk about the PEDOS or the trafficking, and my parents and my sister would be like, just stop. Because it made them uncomfortable, right? I'd talk about predatory behavior I've talked about this many times, how predators like to hide in marginalized groups, and that's what we've seen. We've seen a lot of predators trying to hide in marginalized groups. For example, how PEDOS are trying to call themselves minor attracted persons and then hide in a marginalized group, the LGBTQ community. Or how you see convicted RAPISTS in jail who put on lipstick and say, well, I'm trans now. They haven't done anything to trans themselves. Like, they're not actually, they're just a predator that said, ooh, I can hide in this marginalized group so my bad behavior isn't taken into account, and then I'll have a buffet of women that I can RAPE because we'll be stuck in a cage together, we'll be stuck in jail together, right? So I talk about this a lot, about predators hiding within marginalized groups and rubbing it in our face through false consent. And so I was talking about this and like that kind of thing, even with like, you know, the trans stuff to my parents, and they would be like, stop. And then when the Wayfair thing happened, like, remember when all that shit happened with Wayfair and they were selling like thousands and thousands of dollar like dressers with children's names on them, and their like their like bin numbers on Wayfair were like the coordinates to Schmepstein Island, or how Ellen's set directly resembles and mirrors Schmepstein Island, right? And it's stupid I even have to use code words. Like, that's crazy. Like, if you weren't hiding anything, why can't we just say the words, right? If there's nothing to hide, if it's not true, why are you desperately trying to censor it out of our mouths and out of our lives, right? Because if someone was like spreading a lie about you, you'd just be able to prove that it was a lie. And then they would stop spreading that lie because it would be proven to be a lie, right? But after the Epstein thing, my parents apologized to me and said, we're sorry, you were right. And my dad particularly like explained to me, he's like, Nikki, it's not that I didn't believe you, it's that I didn't want to believe you. I didn't want to believe that, you know, all of this is population control. I didn't want to believe how badly the human trafficking situation has become. I didn't want to believe that PEDOS are ruling the world, or that a lot of the, I won't say all, but a lot of, you know, the people in entertainment that we've looked up to, like, people loved Ellen until she showed her true colors, because she put on this great facade and people really, like, she was an inspiration to a lot of people. She really let us down. If you're gonna have a platform, do the right thing. It's just disgusting. But yeah, my dad just explained it to me. He's like, it's not that I didn't believe you. It's that I didn't want to believe that this is the truth. But guys, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but maybe I'm enlightening some new people. But it's like, we have to look at it, because if we don't, okay, they're showing me it's the same way as, like, let's say you get a really bad cut, right? And that cut gets infected. And you're like, ugh, I know this cut is infected, but I don't want to go to the doctor because the doctor stresses me out. So then you just let that infection get worse and worse and worse. And then eventually you need to get your whole fucking leg amputated because you didn't just go and address the issue before it festered out of control. We're at the point where this shit has festered out of control. And if we need to take control of it now, we need to say we don't accept this now, so that we can actually move forward and have some semblance of a healthy society, right? Okay. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. So, Venus, Aphrodite, what do you have to tell the Divine Feminine on an individual level? What do you have to tell the Divine Feminine on an individual level? Thank you for the likes, guys. It's making me feel very good that, you know, there are people who get it and support what I'm saying and really do want to end the tyranny and the trafficking, and it's just not appropriate. It's not acceptable. And you know what? It's crazy that some of these opinions are not politically correct or not considered, like, acceptable. Because if you ask me, the behavior that I'm speaking out against is truly what's unacceptable. And then you have to ask yourself, who makes the rules about what's politically correct? Oh yeah, the exact offenders that are doing these things that don't want to get caught doing these crimes against humanity. That's who decides what's politically correct and what's not. The people who don't want to get caught in the act of everything I'm talking about. All right. Sorry. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Wands, and the Two of Chalices. Okay, wonderful. So what Venus Aphrodite is saying here with the Queen of Pentacles is going back to what I was saying before about finding our worth. Because look, she's standing tall, she's standing proud, and she has this very devoted divine masculine frequency that is supporting her and grounding her. Everything that I said in the beginning of this. How the divine feminine leads and the divine masculine creates a strong, stable foundation so that she can walk in that leadership and support the family or the life that it is that they are building together. So this is just reiterating that, but also reiterating the know your worth and do not accept less than your worth. Now I'm noticing that it's snowy outside here, so for some of you, maybe you're in an area that's very snowy, but also, and that's a synchronicity. And she's also looking into this mirror as well. Sorry, I'm trying to cover it so I don't get in trouble because it's like, she's topless and stuff. But anyway, so it's like, I feel like what Spirit is saying is that maybe it feels like you've been in a perpetual winter, and that it feels like, you know, you haven't been able to maybe build what you want to build, heal what you want to heal. Maybe you feel like you're not making enough money to support the life it is that you want or the life it is that you have. But either way, maybe you don't have a healthy partner, or you're not happy in your relationship, or maybe, you know, you just don't have a supportive relationship right now and it feels like you've been in this perpetual winter. Well, what Spirit is saying is that this perpetual winter was put before you so that you could do the inner work and the reflection. As I said, she's looking through a mirror, and look at her, she's so put together. Her hair is up and tidy, she's sitting up straight, she's, you know, supporting herself, and she's doing it in a very classy, and it feels like a very clean, clear frequency. And so basically, this perpetual winter that you've been feeling, and then I just imagined her kicking that guy away. So maybe you've attracted a lot of men that were not worthy of you and you had to kick out of your life, or vice versa, switch it if you're a man. But I feel like this perpetual winter was put forth so that it's happening for you, not to you, is what Spirit just said. And then also, too, it's like it gave you the opportunity to really do the inner work and reflection to get yourself in a stable, sexy, clear frequency, and to find that stability and strength within yourself, and to know what it is that you accept and what it is that you won't. Now, I'm really noticing her hand here, and there is no wedding ring on it, but that's kind of like how people will like present when they get like engaged, right? Like they kind of go like this. And so I feel like if you've been looking for a life partner, I do feel that your life partner is approaching. You might start to already be feeling them as well if they're not already in your life. If you already are in like a healthy, happy relationship, maybe your partner will be proposing to you soon. Maybe they'll take you on a trip for some of you very specifically. Maybe they'll take you skiing or somewhere snowy, like into like a snowy log cabin and propose to you. Well, I just got chills. That's definitely for someone. It's specific, but that's definitely for someone. I'm also noticing this plant looks like a pineapple. So even though, hold on, even though it's like a plant in a vase, it's like a pineapple. And so as I was saying, like Venus is saying that, like how I was talking about how I'm like disgusted with people's with the celebrities' opulence and how they're constantly throwing it in our face. That can create limiting beliefs around like people who have money are bad. And that's the kind of thing that can like push money away from you, because you have this limiting belief that like people with a lot of money are bad, just because a lot of the people in our society who do have a lot of money are bad people doing bad things with their money. When in reality, it's like, what people say the truth about money is that it just amplifies who you already were and who you already are. So if you're a good person and you are given a lot of money, you're probably going to use that money generously. Because like I said, not every person who's rich is a bad person. It's just a lot of the people that are highlighted in our culture who have a lot of money are bad people. Or doing bad things with the money that they have, or doing nothing with the money that they have, like I was talking about with Selena Gomez, pretending like you care, pretending like you want to fix the world's problems, but having enough money to at least make a dent in it and not doing anything with that money other than taking care of yourself. And you know, Spirit keeps reminding me that I have to have empathy for like the kids who were like literally raised into this. Like Selena Gomez is a kid who's been a child actor, like on Barney. Like she's been doing this since she was a little kid, and so it's like we kind of have to have empathy for these people because they don't know what it's like to just be a normal person, and also they've been being used as a cash cow since they were old enough to speak, basically. But anyway, it's like we can show them empathy while also correcting their bad behavior, right? So, or their perceived bad behavior, because they don't think that what they're doing is bad. They think what they're doing is good, but it's like the rest of us are kind of like, no, that's not okay. Like, that's not gonna fly. But anyway, this plant looking like a pineapple, and it's like releasing and breaking down the ideas that like, okay, she's telling me there's a difference between opulence and being ostentatious. So being ostentatious is when you're like flexing your wealth and you're using it for means that are completely selfish, or you're looking down on people who are not wealthy because you are wealthy. And so there's a difference between, you know, enjoying finer things in life or having the money that you like, having enough money to reach your dreams in life, and then being ostentatious about your gains or what it is that you've achieved for yourself financially. And so she's just reminding us that like money itself isn't bad, it's what you do with it. And like I said, it just amplifies who you already were. So if you're scared of yourself, if you're scared of aspects of yourself that might be a bit more selfish or low vibrational, that's why they've been putting you in this position to reflect here with the mirror, to do the inner work so that you're cleansed and clear, so that when, you know, the financial windfall does come in, that does support the dreams that you're trying to create, that are selfless and that can make the world a better place, you've done that like shadow work, so you're not falling into the state of being ostentatious rather than just a normal wealthy person. And wealth doesn't have to be like, oh, I have a mansion, I have this and that. Wealth can be, I have enough money for what I need, I have my health, I have my happy family, I have my friends. Like, wealth comes in many forms. So, yeah, everybody take a drink. Okay. I'm channeling, guys. I'm like buzzing from this energy. And then we have the 10 of Wands, and look at her. Her shirt is like tattered. I feel like hope is like right on the horizon. I feel like, as I was saying, if you've been looking for like an actual healthy partner and you don't have a healthy partner, I feel the healthy partner is coming. If you are looking for a healthy, stable job that doesn't work you to the bone and your coworkers don't treat you like shit, then it's like that healthy, stable job is coming. If you are in a really toxic environment, you hate where you live, your roommates are awful, or your parents have always been abusive, or whatever it is, you're almost there here with the 10 of Wands. You're releasing the last bits of clutter and baggage. And she just said, act as if you already have what it is that you want, which is goes back, go watch the live from yesterday if you haven't. We talk all about embodiment and becoming what it is that you want to create so that you can pull that into the timeline that you're on. So if you want to move, start packing. Pack up things that you don't need and just put them in your basement for a while, or put them in a storage unit. So that when the time comes to move, you can get out of that place as quickly as possible. If you want a partner, start, carving out time. So I think it was Latha J on Instagram gave this great example. She's like, if you want a partner, but there's no room in your house, clear out a little space in your closet where your partner could put like their clothes for an overnight, or like if you have like a one toothbrush holder, get a toothbrush holder that holds 2 toothbrushes. Like, start to create a conducive environment for what it is that you're trying to manifest, because that's going to create the space for this to come into your life, right? All right, my right eye just twitched, which is like a yes from spirit. And it just feels like the road, I just heard the road is long, but carry on, try to have fun in the meantime. Born to die, right? Which is just what the 1% want us for. They treat us like cattle, but the road is long. It's been tedious, it's been a lot, and it's been a huge burden. Like, there's been a lot of burdens being lifted off your shoulders and a lot of obstacles in your path. And what spirit is saying is that you're almost there. And like I was saying, look how tattered her shirt is. It's like, even no matter how bad it got, you never gave up. It might be good to do something for your hair too. So like, if you've been, because look at how pretty her hair looks and healthy. So like, if you've been wanting to like deep condition your hair, go ahead and get yourself, you can get a fucking deep conditioner from Sally's, like a little packet of it for like $2. Like, and you know what, if you can't do that, then it's like, there's probably stuff in your kitchen. Like, you can take one out of Big Ed's book and put mayonnaise in your hair. Just kidding. But, there are ways, even if you don't have a lot of money right now, there are ways to, like, make it work. Take it from a girl who's been dirt poor. There are ways to make it work. If you really want to make it happen, you can figure out a way. But, maybe you want to do like a deep conditioning, or maybe you've been really wanting to get your hair done, but you like don't do nice stuff for yourself. Like, go ahead and book that hair appointment with a hairdresser that you trust, because girl, the amount of times my hair's been messed up, that's why I only do my hair myself these days. But anyway, and then we have the Queen of Wands here, and it's like, again, with like the feet, right? And this guy, and he's like looking at her feet and her ankles. So I have this Reiki book that talks about how the ankles are a Reiki point that leads directly to the soul. And also in my Louise Hay book, You Can Heal Your Life, the ankles have to do with pleasure and being able to accept pleasure and accept joy and accept goodness into your life. So I almost feel like it's like right now, what you need to work on is opening up to receive. And this goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the distortion with the divine masculine and the divine feminine being in a toxic state of masculinity and femininity, where it's like the masculine has been in this Empress energy and demanding and expecting all of these things from the divine feminine, and instead of just showing up and pursuing her, they're expecting her to do everything instead. And it's like, right now, what you're really being asked to focus on is just receiving. And of course, it has to be equal, like give and take and stuff. But like, what you need to work on, what you're not necessarily, what doesn't come easily to you, is just being open to receive, is not putting everybody else before yourself, is actually enjoying life and being open to receive the good things in life, and being open to receive pleasure and happiness. So especially too, if you've been having pain in your ankles, or you twisted your ankle or something, this is definitely a synchronicity for that. And so as well, I just feel this is reiterating about the divine feminine stepping in her power and like knowing she's hot and worth it, and like you know, not just that she's hot, but she's smart and she's funny and she's, you know, got a lot to offer. And if you do want kids, like, will literally be the mother of your children and grow a whole fucking spawn of you in her belly and then push it out her fucking vagina. Like, that deserves some reverence, okay? Like, that, the birth portal is something that biological men will never understand. Ever. Right? They will never understand the sacrifice of a woman's body in that way. They will never understand the way the woman's body changes. They'll never understand the pain. They'll never understand, you know, what it feels like, how tiring it is. And, you know, I haven't had any kids yet, so I can't even fully give you, like, the descriptions of that because I haven't been through the birth portal yet. I will one day, but if you never go through it, and you never will, and you don't have the piping and anatomy of a woman, you will never fucking understand. So it's like standing in that power and saying, like, I'm a miracle. I'm a portal. I literally, as above, so below, I take nothing and turn it into something. I take a spirit and I bring it into the physical realm and I birth it through the portal that is my yoni. And I make the ultimate sacrifice. So really standing in that power that it's like, not only are you as an individual extremely worthy and not accepting less than your worth, but you as a collective archetype of a woman deserve not only respect, but reverence, right? For what you do. And also, too, normalizing, like, feeling like you're worth something even when you're not able to provide. So I've noticed with a lot of my, like, female friends is that they feel like I was just talking to a friend about this. She was saying, like, she felt worthless because she was really depressed for a couple days and she, like, couldn't get off the couch. And then she was talking about how worthless she is and this and that. And I'm like, dude, like, your worth does not come from what it is that you provide for other people. Your worth comes from your soul and just you being you. So, and, like, normalize taking a break for men and women. Like, we work ourselves to the bone because that's what we're told to do by the 1%, because, like I said, we are a slave race to them. So, of course they want us to work ourselves to the bone because that's just more profit and more benefit for them. So normalize, like, yeah, I do need a fucking nap today, and that's okay. I'm not, like, a worthless piece of shit just because I need a 15-minute nap. Like, normalize that. And then we have the Two of Cups. So as I was saying, it's like there is a partner coming in. If you don't have a partner, there's a partner coming in that is going to be a wonderful friend that's going to, and look at how beautiful her hair is. And I always notice she has baby's breath in her hair. So you, like I was saying, could be getting married soon. If you already have a partner, they could be popping the question soon. If you don't, I feel like you're going to meet someone that you would like to spend the rest of your life with, or that you could see yourself getting married to, or, you know, whatever you want. Whether if you don't want marriage, but you do want a life partner, you know, whatever. I do feel that it's like, and also if you're doing like self-care stuff, it's really paying off. What Venus Aphrodite is saying is like, it's really paying off all the self-care and like, you know, if you're doing like a skincare routine and a hair routine and all this stuff, like you're looking very beautiful. And it feels like too, like, this is another specific message. If you're someone who you've never had like a truly loving, healthy relationship where someone has made love to you and not just like fucked you, this person, you're going to have this experience of like true, I just felt that like go like from my root chakra to my crown. You're going to have this deeply profound experience of love making, and you're going to realize like just how fucked up. Okay, you're going to realize a couple things. You're going to realize that there is true love between you and the person that you do that with, but then there's also going to be this kind of like sadness that it took you this long in your life to have that experience, and all the ways that, you know, you've been taken advantage of in the past, where maybe sex was not about you, it was like about your partner, and they were not like supporting you or not caring about your needs or like your pleasure or whatever, going back to the ankles and the accepting pleasure. And we learned about this in group therapy, and my therapist put it like this, because a girl came in and was like, you know, my friend gave me a gift the other day, and I just went home and cried and cried and cried. And then I realized it's because I've never had a friend give me a gift before. So even though I was happy and I felt amazing that I was just given this gift, there was a part of me that was like so fucking heartbroken that like this is the first time in over 20 years that I've had a friend who's been equal, who's treated me equal enough to give me a gift. Because it's not like she wasn't giving gifts and stuff, it was just she was always overlooked. And so my therapist, he said, the thing about people who go through like extreme trauma or hardship is like it's hard for them to accept goodness in their life, because as much as they're happy about the good things that are coming to them, there's always that voice in the back of their head that's like, well, this is too good to be true, or this won't last. Or there's like this voice in their head that's like, well, it's really sad that this is the first time I'm experiencing this goodness in my life. And so he would say it's like sad music playing in the background of happy moments, and that eventually that sad music will get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. I'm sorry, I got eggs on my shirt. It's nothing gross. It's literally just eggs. That sad music gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and like not as loud the more you step into a happier time in your life. And so you might have that experience where it's like you're having this really profound, wonderful love-making experience, or, you know, you're being taken on proper dates and they're buying you flowers and you know what, they don't even have to spend money. They're just spending quality time, or they're making you dinner, or they take out the trash, just like little things that, you know, you've never had a partner give to you in the past. And it's like this, you're happy, but there's also this part of you that's sad because it's like everything I just said. So just be aware of that. But I feel like you're getting like your best friend. Like it's not just your lover, it's not just your life partner, it's not just your husband, it's not just the father of your children, like whatever it is, it's a best friend too. And it's someone who understands you. And there could be some sadness as well around that, of like, I've never felt this understood. So it's like you're happy that you're finally feeling like understood by someone, but you're also sad because you spent however many years of your life feeling misunderstood. And yeah, so I definitely feel like that is on the horizon. But it's like you're gonna just melt into this and it's gonna be short-lived. So like not the connection, the sadness. So it's like at first you might be having these like wonky emotions and your emotions might be all over the place, but very quickly you're going to fall into this and you're going to feel very safe, and you're just kind of going to melt into the situation and realize like, you know what, it's sad that I didn't have this for the first however many years of my life, but I am so grateful that I found it now. And when I went to my sister's wedding, like her and her husband are deeply in love. And their vows made everyone cry because their love was so potent and powerful. And it really made me examine the relationships in my life, like with anyone, friends, family, romantic, and really think like, are these people supporting me, and do they just love me how I am, or are they taking from me or trying to change me, or yada yada, whatever. And so it's like, in part of their vows, they said that they were grateful that they met later in life because they were both too stubborn as young people, and they probably would have screwed up a good thing because they were different, right? So it's like, I feel like you're going to get to a point where you're like, yeah, maybe you have some sadness around not have ever having this before, but I think there's also going to be a realization like, oh, I didn't have this because it was divine timing and I wasn't ready. And I'm grateful that I have it now. And what they both just kept saying was like, it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. I'm so glad I didn't settle. It was worth the wait. So that's what I'm going to do for the tarot. I'm going to pull some oracle cards. Thanks for the likes, guys. Remember to like the video, please, if you haven't already. This is my goddess deck. We've been pulling from the Titans and Gods deck, but we're going to pull from the goddess deck today. We have Valkyrie's Redemption. And look again, this guy bowing at her feet. So it's like, this is either your redemption arc where you're saying, you know, enough is enough. I'm not accepting less than I'm worth. And this is your redemption arc. Or you could have somebody that's like coming back from the past and it's like they've actually changed, they've actually learned. And they're showing me that example with my sister and her husband again. Like maybe you did meet at a time when you were too young and you guys had too much healing to do, and now it's like they're back and they're changed and you're you know, changed as well. You guys are older, you've had some life experience. So that's a specific message for some of you. Then we have Amaterasu, self-esteem. And, you know, she is an Asian spirit. We did just have the Lunar New Year. So this to me is talking about how we're, you know, not accepting less than we're worth. We're stepping into this new era in the age of, in the year of the snake. And building up the self-esteem. Building up the self-esteem and not putting up with this crap anymore. Just further reiterating what I was saying. You also might want to dance or like do stuff in the mirror, like you know, like mirror work, where it's like you're like dancing in the mirror, or you're just like gazing into your own eyes. You could also want to buy yourself flowers because she has flowers in her hair, or maybe you're like doing your makeup in the mirror, doing your skincare in the mirror, and being like, wow, you know, like you're really pretty, you're really special, you deserve good treatment, like that kind of thing. But also dancing to like get you into your self-esteem. Sexy dancing always makes me feel better about myself. Any kind of dancing always makes me feel better about myself. We'll get one more. Oh, well, I guess we got 3 more. Okay, so we've got Persephone with cycles, which is what we were talking about, how we're ending certain cycles here in the year of the 9 and the year of the snake, of shedding the skin. And we have Hecate, illumination. So I just heard that song Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, All Will Be Revealed. I feel like this is talking about like the collective shifts and everything I was talking about in the beginning, how it's like, you know, the truth is coming out about the 1% and the masses are finally starting to kind of stand up to that shit. And the divine feminine is saying enough is enough and standing in the feminine power and not allowing the toxic femininity to take over her. And it's just like, and then too, what I was talking about with this card and the mirror, like illuminating those shadows within yourself so that you can heal. And then also too, you might want to do like a yoni steam or something to like support your yoni or your lower chakras. Boric acid, I think is what it's called. Don't quote me, I'm not a doctor. I think that's what it's called. You can get the little pills of that, and that like cleans out your everything, right? It gives you a healthy yoni. So does yoni steams. I'm not a doctor. Always follow your own medical needs. I'm just a girl on the internet. And then we have a key too. We have like the key and the lantern, and I feel like it's like you finally access the key that is going to take you to the next level. And even if your 3D reality isn't showing that yet, trust that you're not actually in your 3D reality anymore. Me and Lizzie were just talking about this, how it's like, yes, I'm here in this like little house with my little cats and stuff, and I'm happy to be here, but my soul is already down the timeline where I have my husband and my kids and my house and all that shit, you know? And then we have Ma'at, justice. So it's like the divine feminine is getting justice, the collective is getting justice. Justice is inevitable, I just heard. And I know a lot of astrologers have been talking about how like 2025 is like no stone, I just heard no stone is going to be left unturned as far as the truth goes. And then we do have the dragonfly here, and the dragonfly is about breaking illusions. This is an animal totem deck. You can screenshot that if you want to get that. The starfish. So this is about over focusing on appearances. So whether it's how like that feeling of lack mentality where it's like everybody with money, like with a lot of money, tends to be a bad person, and it's like the appearances, when in reality it's about what you do with your money. Money isn't inherently bad. When you hoard your wealth and then use it to keep people down, then yeah, it's bad. But when you're using it to help your community, then it's like, or like to create the life of your dreams, then it's a good thing. And peacock. So I feel like this is saying like, don't be afraid to stand out. And I also feel like this, for those who this reading resonates with, it's like you're going to go through a glow up. And so your appearance is going to shift, and you're going through a glow up, and more people are going to be noticing you. And it's like, don't be afraid to stand out. And I feel because in the past, maybe you would have been attacked for like, if you wore something like different or funky or like really cute, and it's like people made fun of you, or, you know,
gave you a hard time, and it's like you have to break down those fears and not be afraid to stand out because you're about to go through a glow up. And then there's just show me how, you know how like starfishes look like they have butts sometimes? That's pretty funny. And then we have the elephant. I just heard holding a torch, right? And we had that with Hecate, literally holding a torch. So this could go back to, like I was saying, the person coming back into your life, like they're still holding a torch for you. And then if not, it's like you're holding this torch of illumination, and the elephant never forgets. So if somebody does come back into your life, it's okay to forgive but not forget, and to set boundaries and rules, right? Because if you've really changed, then it shouldn't be an issue for you to follow my boundaries and rules. So the elephant never forgets. And I feel like you're still holding a torch for them too, but don't make no more special treatment. That's been like the lesson of the month for me. No more special treatment. Stop breaking your own boundaries and putting aside your own needs to make sure that everybody except you is comfortable. No more special treatment. So just because you're holding a torch for them doesn't mean that you let them walk all over you. And I also do feel too that it's like, think about how mistreated elephants are. Like, I hate the way that they've been mistreated throughout the past and stuff, and then they like end up fucking trampling people and everybody's upset with the elephant, and it's like, well, you were abusing the elephant for the last 30 years of its life. Sorry it trampled you after it finally got fed up with it. And also too, I learned from Ty Rivera. I really like his channel. He's an LGBTQ comedian. In his words, the best LGBTQ comedian in the world. That's how he says it in all of his videos. But he was telling the story about how they would train elephants. It's like the elephant on a string theory, or like technique, where they would chain up an elephant, and so in a very small distance, so every time they tried to pull away, they would feel chained. And it's the same idea when you put a gnat in a jar. So you put this elephant on a chain, and then they try to pull away, they can't, because they are obviously chained. So then eventually they give up and they stop trying. And then you can put them on a string and they still won't try because they still feel like they're chained up. It's the same thing with a gnat. If you put a gnat in a jar, it'll keep jumping to where the lid is, and then if you take the lid off, it'll still only jump as high as the lid because it gets stuck in this pattern. Go watch the live from yesterday where I talked about breaking down your subconscious and breaking down your subconscious beliefs. But I just feel like they're talking about how it's like, ultimately what society wants, or what the people who don't want you to succeed want, is they want to, you know, chain you up to a point where you stop fighting. And Spirit's just reminding you, Venus Aphrodite is reminding you to never stop fighting and to stop limiting yourself, because eventually it's going to get to the point where you can break through those barriers because the chains aren't on you anymore. And then I just heard that Beyonce song where she's like, I break chains. I don't actually know what song that is. But then also too, I just got chills. I heard the song Rise by Katy Perry. That song always makes me freaking cry in the music video. But all right, I'll get you a card from my Audacious Angels deck. We've got Direct Dial Archangel. So for some of you, that's that person coming back with a phone call. So figure out what you want to say before they come back in. If you need to make a list so you don't forget stuff, because this person, you're still holding a torch for them, right? And so like they end up getting away with shit. If you need to make a list of things you need to confront them about while you have them on the phone before you allow them back in your life, do it. Thanks for the likes, guys. And then we have Crazy Mystique. This is about having a different path than other people. Like, your path is not supposed to look the same as the person next to you, so stop comparing yourself to other people. You're supposed to be living your life, not their life. And then we have Warmly Receptive. We're going to end on that note, because that's exactly what we came full circle here with Warmly Receptive. It's time to be open to receive. Perfect. Beautiful. And then the rainbow, I just heard that song that's like, beautiful like a rainbow, true colors, right? Doobie's been coming through so strong. And that song always reminds me of my little doob, my boob doobs, my doobarella, my friend who passed away, because he was gay, and so he loved all that rainbow shit. But yeah, Warmly Receptive. For some of you who are same sex, this could be a synchronicity as well. All right, we're going to end the tarot reading on that note. And everybody take a drink. Okay. Now we're going to do the Reiki piece while I put away the cards. And you can enjoy ice cream and sundae while I put away the cards. And bring out the singing bowls. Are you guys liking these lives? I'm really enjoying doing these lives every day. It's been really fun. I have a pick a card. I still haven't edited it yet. Look, there's that devil lurking. I just heard that song, "There's a devil on your back, so shake him off." By the way, they mandala affected that song. It's just stupid. I was talking about it on Patreon, I think. I was like, it doesn't make sense anymore with the way they mandala affected it. But a lot of people believe the mandala effect is just the government changing stuff and gaslighting us to see how much they can get away with gaslighting us for. Some people think it's actually timeline hopping into different realities where those things did or didn't exist, or they were just existing differently. Other people literally think it's just the government straight up trying to gaslight us into believing things that just are not true, and seeing how much they can persuade us into believing their lies. Oh, you guys look so cute. You love each other, huh? Are you best friends? Best friends forever. Best friends forever. Ring. Remember that episode of SpongeBob where Patrick has the Patrick has the box with a string in it, and then SpongeBob thinks it's just a box with a string, but if you lift the string, it's the embarrassing photo of SpongeBob at the Christmas party. Blah. Okay, I don't know why I just thought of that, but all right. I'm actually gonna put Aphrodite facing me between the two singing bowls. Did anybody used to watch Between the Lions? Did you used to watch that? Hey, you know what lives in my head rent-free? Ooh, ah, dance in shorty pants. Because that guy scared the shit out of me. He was a puppet and he was terrifying. And if you don't know what that is, don't watch it while you're tripping on anything. I never did, but I can only imagine the way it would traumatize you if you watched it while you were tripping on something, because that puppet is very scary. And if you want a good scare, look up Dance in Shorty Pants. Okay. And that was a kid's show on like PBS. All right. I'm going to have a little coffee. All right. So, for the Reiki, you can't see it. I'll just kind of show you. We've got Aphrodite right here. I've got my sacral chakra singing bowl and my solar plexus singing bowl. And, yeah, so make sure to accept this Reiki, because if you don't accept it, then, you know, I don't have permission to be working on you energetically. So you can just say, I accept, or say it in your head, or you can leave a comment accepting the Reiki. But I have some seashells that I've collected, and this one actually kind of looks like a yoni. I love this one. So I've been given these seashells from the ocean. And then I am going to put this in there too, because it was on my Aphrodite statue, but it's my little penny that I got from Salem, because, you know, you can get a souvenir penny when you go places. So we'll put that in there. And then I have this seashell, the Magick conch. Just kidding. And then I have these little grapes for abundance. They also remind me of my ancestors, because my great-grandmother had like an ornament like this. I have this past life. This is so pretty. This is so freaking pretty. This past life moon. These are up on my website if you want one of them. I've enchanted them to help heal your past lives. And there's even like little rainbows in this one. Wow. So pretty. And then I have this Orgonite female figure, which has beauty herbs that I use for my beauty potion inside of it. So say or think or write, I accept now. And we're going to get into the Reiki. Everybody go ahead and take a deep breath in. Thank you for the likes. Let it out. Aphrodite, I call upon you now to aid in healing and clearing energy from all who are watching this now and later, as well as myself and my cats and my loved ones. Amun Ra. feet or actual gunk coming out, but imagine doors opening, cellar doors at the base of your feet, and as that goes out, all the goodness comes in. Ready? Deep breath in. Hold it. And release. Benevolent guides, guardians, ancestors, angels, star family, higher self, Yeshua, Baal, Rai, Yemaya, according to God source, I humbly ask that everything we did today seal and heal onto myself and all those who accepted this Reiki healing. And I just pray that we go forth in the highest frequency in order to help us achieve all of our goals and dreams on our highest, most light-bodied timeline for the betterment of ourself, our family lines, and humanity. I pray all of this with the purest of hearts and the best of intentions. Amo Ra, Ashe Namaste, with the power of three, Samadhi be, always works, always a blessing. Oh, I feel good, guys. I feel good. I feel good. Do 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 do. How you guys feel? I'm gonna turn on the chat now. We'll talk for a few minutes, and then I gotta go because I've been on here for 110 minutes, almost 111, almost 111. Okay. Don't forget to share this too if you feel like it can benefit people. And yeah, Lizzie, if you wouldn't mind after the fact putting timestamps for everything, that would be awesome. It's 11:11 on the West Coast. It's 1:11. Oh my God. It's 2:11 where I am, but that's awesome. Had to leave for a sec. Hey Madison, had to leave for a sec, talk to my grandma, open the live back up, and felt a rush of warm, high vibe healing. Thank you, brother. You're welcome. My goddess and Duchess. Thank you, my goddess and Duchess. You're welcome. Glad you liked it. Greetings from Indonesia. You look so gorgeous. Thank you, Fajar. I hope I pronounced your name right. Sorry if I didn't. Yeah, I think no. It's not citrine. It's up on my website. I forget what exactly it is. It's like flower quartz, I think. I don't know. I can't exactly remember what it is off the top of my head. Lots of love, ladies. LOL. I've been watching on my TV but didn't go on my phone and nosy the chat until now. That's funny. Shake It Out is a banger. Hell yeah. Hey, Robin. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, the hood scientist, Jackie. I remember your name. Because remember at first I was like, I just like sent your package to the hood scientist. You're like, I probably should have told you my name. I channeled a song and thought of you. Girl, you always channel in songs for me. It was a song I exchanged with my twin. That's a synchronicity too, isn't it? It always ends up being... for some reason, the hood scientist can always hear my twin. Like, when I'm ignoring him, he, like, goes to her. And then she's like, by the way, this happened. I was, like, pumping my gas on a regular Tuesday. And then I'm like, why am I thinking of this person? It's called Reflector by Arcade Fire. Thank you. When the live is over, can you put that in the comments? Because I don't want to forget. Hey, Maria. I'm glad you made it. I'm making you a moderator as well. Okay, I think you're all set to be a moderator. 'Cause that song might be relatable to other people as well, so it'd be good. Warm Honey by Willow. Guys, leave all your songs like in the chat after because it'll go away. Patrick, the lid. That's so funny. I love a good SpongeBob reference. I feel so much better. I kept feeling like a horse being let off a halter and into the pasture, running free soon after I finished healing in bed for weeks. Oh, good. I'm really happy. I'm happy you're starting to feel better. What's the spiritual meaning in sleeping all day and being awake all night? If you have questions, you can book readings with me. Also, guys, I'm trying to be less offended in 2025, but someone yesterday was like, do you charge for readings? Or are your readings free? And then I was like stewing on it later, and I was like, dude, you just got a whole like hour and a half free reading. Of course, if you want like a personal reading, it's gonna cost money. Like, this is a business, it's not a charity. Not to sound rude, but this is the charity, this is the free part. So, and I know, right? I just heard in my head, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Like, I know they're not trying to offend me, but like, you know me, I'm a Cancer. My baseline is offended. I'm about to go through these chats later and make a playlist. Yay, thank you, Robin. That's awesome. Lots of lovely... Oh, wait, I already read that. The babies. Yeah, I love those cuties, my little cats. Yeah, I put them on in the intermission. So, Ice Cream's under the bed hiding. She doesn't like the singing bowl. You're spot on, Dutch. So grateful for your work. Thanks, Maria. Hey, Teresa. Elephants, I love learning from the Telepathy Tapes podcast, are highly telepathic and are also matriarchal societies. Love that. Yeah, after, if you could leave that podcast in the comments too, Teresa, I think that would be really an enjoyable podcast for a lot of people. The feathers on the peacock's head look like sunflowers. Yeah, and, you know, some of you could be connecting with Oshun as well, because she, you know, is connected with sunflowers. All right, I'll read a couple more, and then I'm going to get going. 80s music, dancing is my medicine. Dude, yeah, we did that in Salem. We found a random 80s dance party. It was awesome. But as I've said before, it got ruined by a juggalo wearing a Hatchet Man medallion. We model stomped our way out of there after we didn't want to talk to him anymore. Pone Naga. I'm so confused in my life. I don't know what I'm going to be. I'm so unlucky in everything. Go watch my last live around breaking down your subconscious. I talk a lot about how to get out of that energy. Same, I cry when people are actually kind to me. Well, Motivational Mountain. Just know that that's normal for people who have been through a lot, and you're going to get to the other side of that. The sun just started showing so bright. Confirmation. That happens on these videos. I'll be talking about something and then the sun just like shines in. Like, share, and subscribe if it makes your heart go boom, boom, boom. Thanks, Lizzie. On that note, and then we have our worth is precious and my presence is a gift. We're going to end on that note. Thank you guys. I love you. I'll maybe see you tomorrow. Keep an eye out for my pick a card. I think it's going to go out tonight. If not, it'll definitely go out tomorrow. I'm still editing it. And I don't even have that much to edit. I've just been distracted and scrolling too much. I'm really trying to not do that anymore. But I love you guys. Take really good care. Have a good day. Like, share, comment, subscribe because it helps me out. And I'll talk to you soon. And please leave... Oh, Naga means snake. Ooh, love to close with that because it's the year of the snake and we were talking about that. Yes, and please leave the songs in the comment section because I think that they'll help a lot of people. All right, I love you guys. Take care. Bye.